Welcome to the Relationship Revivalist podcast. My name is John, and I am here with my amazing and awesome co-host, Jess.
Hey, John, how are you doing?
I am doing absolutely amazing, as usual, because, there's some things that we're going to talk to our audience about, and it's all about taking that rest. And when you have rest and you are fully charged, you usually perform at your best, right?
Oh, that's so good, and it's so true. I know for myself, and I'm sure a lot of people, if I'm not feeling kind of like I'm giving 100% and I just want to go sleep or something, I've learned in my life I'm not being lazy because I'm not a lazy person. I just need some rest.
Yeah.
Because then when I have it, then I can get back going again.
Absolutely. So, we want to tell you, because if it's happened to us, it's more than likely happened to a lot of other people. And that is, you have to take the time to schedule your rest. Because I know growing up, when I was, young and just full of energy and I could go and go and go, I took advantage of that. And I didn't really take, like God says, you're supposed to rest on the seventh day. And I didn't rest on the seventh. I worked 7 days a week. So I wore myself down, and if the creator of the universe has a seventh day of rest, we should too. And so you have to take time and schedule out those vacations that you want to go to and just plan and save for them. You don't have to just go on a whim, like, oh, I need a vacation, so now let's go drive 4 miles up 4 hours up the highway and call it a vacation. No, You want to schedule something nice and something that you can be far enough away where your mind is going to say, okay, I can't put my mind back at where home is. And now I'm just here relaxing and just enjoying myself and detoxing from the hustle and bustle of every day. Mm-hmm. And that is the biggest key. I think everyone needs to do that. Those vacations are necessary. Yeah, they look extracurricular, but they aren't. They are important.
That's so true. Yeah, and also scheduling that time together as a couple is so important too. And that's something that a lot of us don't get enough of, I don't think. But it is so important. And so
yeah, so when you have time together, you get a chance to build your relationship. Mm-hmm. And if you're building your relationship and that's the trap that we all get into. And that trap is really, seriously, when you are going to work, coming home, watching TV, and essentially doing what those who are in power, they want you to sit there and watch your sitcoms. They want you to go to work and spend 40 hours a week. And, you still need to have that vacation time. You need to have downtime.
And I could hear some people saying, but hey, John, I don't get to even sit down and watch TV when I get home. I make dinner, I clean the house, I take care of the kids, I get the kids to bed, and so, all the things, right?
And so I would say to that's even more reason for you to have a vacation.
Right, and the rest time.
Yeah, because you are probably even more so depleted in your energy level, in your brain power. You're just like, it's like your brain is on what's that? Like it's not
overload.
On overload. Yeah, this is your brain on whatever, and this is it's crazy.
And it can lead to extreme stress, and lots of studies have been done on stress and how it really can negatively affect even how your physical body operates, and it can even promote sickness.
Yeah.
So we don't want that, and it's important, to schedule like a sleep time and everything like that. But also it's so important I like how you said that, John, about going somewhere far enough away that you can't really think of home anymore. Like there's really nothing you can do about it because you're too far away to get back there quickly. I think sometimes that's even important because it can really help completely rest your mind from the everyday stuff.
And we've had a chance to visit some of our favorite places, tropical places, and it really is, being that we're here in Portland and we could easily go up to Seattle and take a 4-hour drive and just call it a little mini vacation on a weekend. But,
and I think we don't even do that enough. So that's probably something we're going to have to endeavor to do more of.
Yeah.
Too.
So every chance that you can take to really just relax and get away from that work, get away from the stress, because stress causes disease. Stress causes marital problems. It causes relationship problems, and on and on and on. And it's just, stress is not a good thing for us. We were not created for this. And there's so many other avenues I could take this, but I would be going down different rabbit trails, and I don't want to do that right now. So,
and like you talked about, stress isn't good for relationship, and that's so true. If you've ever noticed people, how they act under stress, like the everyday kind of stresses of life, they often seem like completely different people on vacation, because they don't have all these cares anymore for this week or however long their vacation is. They can just play and relax and really be themselves. And so it's important to be able to relate to your spouse on that kind of level, at least sometimes, right? To just truly be yourselves and relaxed. I know that when I feel stressed, I can get snappier. Sometimes with John, and then it makes me feel bad, right?
Yeah.
But when I'm rested, I know for myself, I can be slower to answer. I can be happy and joyful and be myself. Be the person that he fell in love with.
Absolutely. When you've just think back when you first met the person that you are in love with right now. Think about the first time that you met. Were you stressed? And the answer to that is more than likely no. And if you were stressed, it was more of a positive kind of nervousness.
A little bit nervous,
and you can't call that stress. You can just say, I was just a little bit nervous because I wanted him or her to really like me. And so you were really doing and putting your best foot forward. And because you're doing that, you've got this nervousness, this pent-up energy. And I kind of liken it to like when I was playing baseball, when I was playing basketball, and I was a freshman in high school. I still remember this. I was the best jumper on the team. And so they always put me in with the center, and they were thinking, oh, this guy is short. I wasn't really that short, to be honest with you guys. But, I was able to jump. I was quick off of the draw, and I was able to get some of those tips. And we didn't have anyone that was 6'5" as a freshman. I think everyone was like doing really good to be 6 foot or whatever. And, me coming in at 5'8" or 5'9", and being able to make up those 3 extra inches or whatever to get that tip, that's something that you can just you remember those kind of things. And so when you put the extra things out there, and your foot's out there, your best foot in fact is out there, and it just makes life so easy and so free flowing, because you're going after the extra mile to go after that relationship that you really want, because they are special to you, one, and you see more in them, perhaps maybe even more than they see in themselves. And, we all have a level of insecurity. And so then we know that we can help them out where you become a team. And when you become a team for yourselves, you bond together and you work things out so that your team is on the upper end, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, it's absolutely imperative to go after and have those good times, the vacations, even if they're a weekend or a couple of days. You don't have to have the 1 and 2 week ones all the time, but you do need to have and schedule those 2-3 day vacations.
Yep, just to get away and to be yourselves and bond together. That's so important.
And I would also say that, when you have kids, you have pets, and you perhaps maybe you use them as your excuse for not being able to go on a vacation because, well, maybe it costs you money to send them to a babysitter. You don't have family, perhaps, that would be willing to watch them for the weekend so you can go have a weekend by yourself stress-free. Yeah, those are valid reasons because, babysitting can cost a lot of money. And, if you've got kids that are in the pre-stages, like the age 0 to 4 or 5, they even cost more because they take more to watch. And so you have to start thinking about ways to overcome those hurdles because that's all it is. It's a hurdle. It's not an excuse. It's just a hurdle for you either not to go or to go. You've got to have the right mindset. And we've talked about mindset before, haven't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I was also thinking not only the money, but when the kids are very, very young, it's easy to think, oh, I don't want them to be without me. There's lots of emotions that come, at least for moms, and I'm sure for dads too, when they're that young. And so that is another thing to think about, and to think about, do I have someone that I trust to leave with them for a couple of days? And if you do, then I think, take advantage of that, because it's important to think about now. Remember, when the kids leave your house, when they're older and they're adults and they leave your house, it's just you and your spouse again. So it's really important to be proactive and to remember that even as the kids are growing up, to still take that time, plan that time together as a couple. Because you're even as you have kids, you're practicing for the moment that you have an empty nest. Exactly.
That is so good.
And then
Jess.
It's not such a stark reality like, oh my gosh, the house is empty now. It'll be hard, but not so like, because if you wrap yourself up in your kids for that 18, 20, 25 years, however long it takes, and then they're out of the house and they're having their own lives. They're not going to look at you the same anymore. You're not mommy and daddy anymore.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a cutoff in communication, though, either.
Oh, no, not at all. But if that's how you identify yourself as being the mom or the dad, that's also something to take into consideration, because when it is just you and your spouse, are you going to look at your spouse like, oh my gosh, I'm living with a stranger? Or, yeah, we're a team. We've been a team this whole time. We know each other. We've known our struggles and our triumphs. We've known how each other has changed and grown over these years.
And we love to hang out with each other.
Love to hang out with each other. And we're ready to enter this new phase of our life together with joy.
Yeah.
So it is important as you're moving along in your lives to keep spending that quality time together, and so you know who each other is. You don't lose each other.
He's like, what it is, what it is. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you've got to prepare for yourself, and that's a great point, Jess. Is prepare yourself for the time when empty nest syndrome seems to come around, and it really bites couples in the butt because they're not ready for it. They're like, oh, I thought this would last the rest of my life, and
how many couples do you know that have been married 15, 25 years or whatever, and then they get divorced?
Yeah.
It's like, why does that happen? They seem like they're really solid, and then the empty nest thing happens. It seems like, why does that happen so often?
Yeah.
It's important.
I mean, it happened with me and my family too. I mean, but there are other situations I'm thinking that were going on that maybe they were just like, well, we're just going to stay married until the kids get out of high school and they can go on their own. There's a lot of that goes on as well.
And there could be a lot of underlying situations going on. That's so true. That's my guess, probably what was happening all along, instead of taking a close look at, looks like a situation. And if that keeps going on and festering, it's going to become a big thing. So let's nip it in the bud now. Let's take care of it now when it's still a smaller thing.
Absolutely. It's just like we talked in previous episodes where, your relationship is not just a little speedboat going down the river. It's a big ship, and you have to use your tongue, the rudder, to turn that ship around.
Right.
And maybe you have to go out of port just to get that ship out because you have a relationship that you think is already sunk. But if you keep going and you get the front end of that boat going up, you can bring it out of the water, and you can offload all the water, and then you can turn it around, and you can make that relationship happen, especially if you've got God on your side.
Absolutely. He has to be the center of it. And John, this is a perfect segue. We have an ebook that we have written, and if you're wondering, well, maybe you're thinking, well, you just described my relationship right now. It feels like it's sunk. We have some really great strategies to be able to turn that ship around into a direction that you want it to go. And can you tell them about it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we created this ebook that we've been getting rave reviews about, and honestly, we put some good work into it, and the comments that we're getting were just like above and beyond what they even expected. So, if you want to download that ebook, go ahead and go to our website, the relationshiprevivalists.com. That's a plural. And, there'll either be a ebook at the top right, or there'll be a little slide in that you can put your information in, your email address, and then download that. You'll get an email, and it'll have a link to download that. And just go through it. You can read it in about, I'd say about an hour. Tops maybe. And so that is our offer to you today. We want you to get that ebook. We want you to start improving your relationship. Even if you think you've got the best relationship, maybe you're missing out on a couple of strategies that you could really amp up your relationship to even a better relationship. Can you even imagine having a better relationship? So just go ahead and download the Relationship Revivalists /7 secrets, or like I said before, go to our website and put your information in. And we look forward to seeing you and talking to you next week. And from that, we are going to say,
see you later.
Awesome. Talk to you guys later.